Now for our next session, which is one that is actually quite dear to my heart, as it involves one project that I worked very closely with personally, and it is doing good with blockchain. And for that segment, I'm very happy to introduce you to Bernhard Thalhammer, who is the founder of Vorne Technologies. Also, I'm delighted to call up Sui Jin Kon, director of Trust01. And lastly, also, again, I'm happy to welcome our president, Kurt Nielsen, to the floor. Yeah, I think we started. Bernhard? Bernhard? We're going to begin with three short presentations and then move into a discussion. So without further ado, I think, Bernhard, would you like to begin?
Sure, thank you so much.
We're making it cozier.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for the invitation. My name is Bernhard Thalhammer. I'm the founder of Vorne Technologies, and we are revolutionizing healthcare philanthropy. What is the problem that we are addressing? We see that 1 in 2 people on the globe doesn't have access to proper healthcare. We can spend hours and days and weeks and years to discuss why this is the case. But the thing is that many people want to help. When we think of making donations and helping, we see issues there, because in the end, when you donate for something, you never know what's happening with your donation, right? There's mismanagement, there is transparency issues, you give something and basically it's a black box, right? You really don't know what's happening there. And that's exactly the problem that we're addressing. And that's why we provide a solution that offers transparency along the whole life cycle. It's based on blockchain technology integrated with human interaction, so we can make sure that the money is really going where it's supposed to go. This is a very detailed model of how it works. I just want to point out 2 things here. The first thing is that we receive the donations in fiat and crypto and then transfer them into an internal token that doesn't have use outside the ecosystem. This internal token goes to the medical facility, which is then able to buy the equipment that is needed at the internal marketplace. So the first issue that we addressed before, the misuse of funds, basically it's cured here because the medical facilities don't get fiat, they only get the internal token, which then can be used to purchase the equipment that they need. The second thing, and that's better explained here, the user who makes the donation gets updates about the usage, about the equipment. So when we look at, for example, here, the second thing here, it's an incubator for early born babies. You as the donor get an update about the usage of this incubator. So you see how many hours is it on per day and how many basically babies have you saved in a year. Or the first example here is technology used to produce water out of the moisture, out of the environment, and you as the donor, you get an update about how many liters of water have you produced in a day. So basically that's the solution that we're offering. We already are live with one prototype. We presented it at the AIDS conference in Munich in July, together with the Elton John AIDS Foundation and the UNDP, where we support the communities affected by HIV in different countries. So yeah, that's it in short. I hope I didn't use too much time here. That's what we do, and I'm happy to discuss with you later on. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. Cool. So my name is Sui Jin Kon. I work for a sustainability of blockchain company. Our main product is in supply chain transparency to help with compliance regulations. So a little bit, so I'll echo what Bernhard said just now. It's all about the transparency and the immutability of the data, which we hope will empower people within supply chains to get more money, to make more profits, and have greater control over what they do. So I'll just tell you a little bit more about our main product and what we've done. So our main product is an EUDR compliant supply chain solution for traceability for cash crops. And we work in areas of West Africa, Southeast Asia, as well as in China, to help growers of cash crops such as rubber, cocoa, coffee, and to ensure that all of what they're planting is essentially on non-deforested land, not anti-deforested land, and non-protected areas. Now this, and you're wondering, okay, so how does this help? Essentially, because of the data that we provide, the farmers who are actually planting these cash crops do nothing but put their data on chain, and that increases their incomes by about 20%. Just by putting their data on chain, and it costs them absolutely nothing. All of the costs are borne by large FMCGs such as Barry Callebaut, such as Yokohama Tire, such as Hankook Tire, and these are all just in line with regulations. So I just want to stress that we're not here to present you an innovative solution. We're here to solve a problem, and that problem is one of traceability and transparency in supply chains, and that not just helps FMCGs and people like us sitting here in air-conditioned rooms, but also helps elevate the lives of underserved and underdeveloped rural economies around the world, as I mentioned just now in Côte d'Ivoire. Now, I was just talking to our field heroes in Côte d'Ivoire yesterday, and they were very delighted to tell me that, you know, because of what we're doing, we are putting 75 field agents out into, you know, places that internet doesn't reach, so that we can collect all of this data so that they can elevate their livelihoods just by being compliant. And they've been compliant, that's the thing. It's not like they're changing their lives to become compliant. They've been compliant, just nobody knows that they're compliant. So, you know, this is really the power that we are seeing with blockchain, and that we are hoping to expand into other areas of the supply chain, especially with regards to cash crops. I'll move quickly on as well, so you can see the impact of what we've done already, the hectarage that we've covered. One of our seminal projects is actually a PPP with the Indian Rubber Board, which is taking place this year, where we will be mapping 800,000 hectares of rubber trees in India. And it will be certified by the Indian Rubber Board to be deforestation free. And we will be adding a layer of a CSR onto that as well, where all of the extra income that these farmers receive will then go towards the education of the rural communities in India as well. So that's what we're really proud of. And, you know, we're one of these startups, which I can proudly say doesn't require, okay, we're looking for funding, but we don't require funding. Our revenue actually helps us sustain our operations and helps us go into areas like the provision and the of other projects that we do with NGOs in the field. So we teach farmers regenerative agricultural practices so that methane emissions are reduced, and it also produces methane reduction credits, which again increases their incomes by about 25% per year. So we're really, really proud of the work that we do. So if you guys want to talk to me about more of the work that we do in these underdeveloped communities, please reach out to me. Happy to have a chat.
All right. The last of 3 presentations, and then we'll have a bit of discussions of maybe why we're doing all of this. So I will extend the talk a little bit from transparency also into privacy, as this is a part of the features of the Partisia blockchain. So I'll be talking about an application that we have been doing, work we have been doing for the out of Geneva for the International Committee of Red Cross, and we are working with other organizations to put their solutions to work as we speak. So In general, in Partisia Blockchain, we are a Swiss blockchain, and we've been working with DeFi out of the Zurich region, Zug region, and we have tapped into the world of NGOs in Geneva. You really have everyone there in Geneva. So, and we have been speaking to a lot of them, and there's a lot of things for us to do. I think we are just scratching the surface. So, but a lot of opportunities. What the project I will talk about is humanitarian aid, and this is one of the most common used tools in humanitarian aid, which is cash. Basically, go into a crisis zone, maybe it's a war zone. You go in and you have people who's working in that crisis zone. They sort of know whom to support. And the idea and what has shown to work is that they will map maybe 2,000 people. Say if you put cash in the hands of these 2,000 people, they will start the economy, they will help their families, and they will sort of buy services from others, and you sort of kickstart that vulnerable economy. So that's an efficient tool, and probably one of the most efficient tools. The problem is that when you come with physical cash, you also are vulnerable to things that can happen with these cash before they end up in the hands of those listed recipients. So, and you could also do that more efficient, cheaper. So that's the challenge that we was set out to solve with the International Committee of Red Cross. What we did was that one of the paramount issues was to protect the identity of the individuals. So the people we work with, they had this saying that they have been working 30 years in Afghanistan and no one knows who received the cash in these programs. So that's the kind of protecting of identity that we needed to have. On the other hand, they also need transparency. We need to know who's actually receiving this. There needs to be a way to be accountable to say these are the people that receive the funds that people have donated to the International Committee of Red Cross to help people. So they need this level of accountability on one hand and the protection of identity on the other. They never found the perfect solution before this project. And what we're doing here is basically you can imagine an ATM. So now you have an ATM, which is a green box down here, the green smart contract, privacy smart contract, which is a private ATM. So now you can go and withdraw your money and your match. If you're one of the recipients, you'll be a match and you'll be able to get your money out. But it will not be possible for anyone from the outside to see who you are. And it will not be possible for the Red Cross to see who is actually going and withdrawing the money. But the International Red Cross, they have the 2,000, they know who they are, so they know that there is a match to that list, and that's just what they need to know. So here you have a protection of the individuals, and you have the opportunity to go and withdraw your cash and go spend this cash. So that's basically the solution in a nutshell, and we use the MPC solution to do that matching of the individual, withdrawing your cash basically. So that's the solution. It's really about putting money into a bank, having in this case the ICRC holding the account. You can do audit on that, so you know what has been going in. Then you create a stable coin. You create a token economy representing this cash, and then you initiate a token economy. So of course, this token economy, if you build trust, you can do a lot more than the value of these cash, because people at some point they end up trusting to the value, and then they just have spending the token and not necessarily the cash. In the first place, it's all about putting cash in, taking that cash represented as a token and spend it directly, and when redeeming the merchants that receive the tokens, they go and redeem the cash behind the token. But you can also just trade the token itself. But you need to, like in any token economy in blockchain, you need to establish trust in the first place, and that you can do. And when people realize that this is money, then you can do a lot more than just withdrawing the cash and spend that. That's what we're doing, establishing a token economy based on a stable coin. To some extent, this is actually a CBDC solution, right? So you can consider ICRC as a central bank, put money in there, create a token economy. There you have it. This is a CBD solution with actually privacy built in. So it's not impossible to do that solution, to actually have a CBDC solution without introducing more surveillance and tracking of transactions and everything. So side comments. This is moved. The whole project is moved to field test stage, and there is actually an ongoing test of this. The nature of these tests is limit us from talking about this. I can say, however, that there is a situation in Lebanon that is being addressed by money distributed through this system. See how much time we have. We have 5 minutes for discussions, and let's spend that. So, what should we talk about? I think maybe is this just a niche? I was thinking, is this a niche industry or just something we do because it's just happens to be like a niche industry, or is it something that is more general?
I don't know why you woke up this morning, but I can tell you why I did. So it's coming to work every day and finding that you have a motive, right? What are you doing, not just for yourself, but for the community, for the world at large, and how technology and how the industry that we're in, which is blockchain, can actually help to make it a better place. Now, obviously, we all have our solutions in silos. You know, part of us are doing philanthropy, some of us are doing sustainability, some of us are doing climate stuff, but eventually, when we all come together with all of our solutions, that can help in the ways that it does. And mind you, it has to first solve a problem. Let us not be deluded into thinking that we're tech geeks and that we're masters of the universe. We actually have to go out there and help people solve their problems, make their lives better, and empower them with the transparency and the traceability that blockchain provides, so that we can move not just this industry forward, but also as probably the last generation of this world that can live in a climate that is hospitable. Then we really have to do our part. That's why I woke up this morning, and I hope that this discussion about doing good with blockchain is going to be emblematic. Oops, sorry, that's my phone. Going to be emblematic of some of the strides that we can take in use cases that are not so obvious right now to all of us here in blockchain, to then start thinking out of the box a little bit and focus on the we instead of the me.
Yes, I really feel the same. I mean, we all know the Gartner hype cycle, right? With the peak of inflated expectations, and I think we've been through the valley of tears, and now these use cases, I think, really show us that we're on the on the productive side now of things. When the technology that used to be so, let's say, focused on a very core niche market and niche group of technology enthusiasts, it's now really spilling over to other use cases that can really make use of this. So I think this is the best showcase that we can have for this technology to be really useful, to have all these use cases.
I totally agree, and I think this is not a niche. That was actually my point by asking the question, because I think this is like any companies in the world, they will take these SDG goal as a call to action, because this is something that the society need to know. United Nations is not a perfect institution, but I mean, there's not a lot of alternatives to have everyone trying to meet up and agree on problems to solve. So I think we should. Everyone should sort of take it serious and think if what we are doing do we also address some of these SDG goals, and I think there's a lot of opportunity, especially when we're building like open source project for the greater good. I mean, it's kind of almost using the same word, so it should be a perfect match, I think.
Definitely.
No, I have to echo it. I think I made my point very clear. It's you just, after we and I'll say this again, like after we're done with me, what else can we do for we? And it's really up to all of us in this room, whether or not you're here to hear what we have to say, listen to our solutions, or use our solutions as a springboard for thinking of your own solutions that can solve some of the problems that the world is facing right now, then I think we would have done our job today, don't you?
I think so. I think so too. And,
Yes.
and maybe not to we're getting to the end, so we don't want to steal the lunch break from anyone. But maybe a quick round on what is up next. What is the next project that you're focused on?
Project-wise, from our side, it's definitely the fundraising. So if any of you are interested, we're in the middle of raising our seed round. So that's a really, really big project. That's definitely priority one from our side. Yeah.
Well, I said we don't really need the seed money, but it would be nice. But we are in a 10 million round as well for our A round, so that would be cool. But otherwise, come to me and talk to me about supply chain traceability. It is a market with a CAGR that is 42.5%, so that should be interesting for people to think about.
Yeah, and from our side, I think we have planted some seed in different projects, and we really want to see them grow. So some of these examples are also going into cybersecurity, the fundamentals of trying to find a way to using privacy to share early indicators of breach, which they are called, and as immediately when this happens, bring it out, share it, so everyone can be prepared for what is coming. Doing work in the NGO world around this system that will allow NGOs who's constantly under attack to share these kind of vulnerabilities whenever they appear and make sure that the rest of the world is better prepared. With that, there's a lot of things to come. So, you want us to say more? We do have more time. I thought we were actually out of time.
We have another 4 minutes.
Oh, another 4 minutes.
We were rushing.
Yeah, but I don't mind, maybe. Bruce is saying that I could. Oh, yeah, question from the audience. That's much better. Let's do that. Can we?
Here. All right. There you are.
Yeah, just a quick question to Sui Jin on the supply chain. Not a tricky one, not worry. But I was just wondering, because the traceability involved getting the data from all an ecosystem, and I understand that the market, at least the people you are targeting, are not really fully equipped by internet, computer, or whatever. So how do you manage to get those data from the field to bring them on chain for the full traceability?
So thanks, Arnaud. I know that wasn't tricky. So the bill, like I said, is really foot by all the large FMCGs like Barry Callebaut, Yokohama Tire, Hankook Tire. So the bill is foot by all of these people because they want to understand how their entire supply chain works. And then we send field agents. I don't know if you missed that one, but we have 75 field agents only in Côte d'Ivoire, helping us get all of this data right from the ground, from the farmers themselves. And we go through things, huge due diligence checks, for example, even with regards to land title, whether or not this area is owned or leased by the farmers who claim to be who they are. Now, I'm not going to rubbish the competition, but we are really one of the most thorough in our methodologies in terms of cash crop supply chain traceability out there in the market.
Maybe one more question?
Yeah, but actually I would like to add to this, because this is also, I think this is in general known as a last mile problem, and we have met that in many of the NGO we are speaking to. So how do you actually address it? So usually when you go and help a country, you come with a lot of money, put it at the doorstep of that country, and then they do something. But if you want to help a country where the central administration is broken, you need to kind of find a way to bring that to the very end recipients. So that last mile problem is really something that you just need to solve. I think we're doing that with the ICIC. We also worked on another one, which is on counterfeit medicine. huge problem. 70% of medicine in Africa is counterfeit. Look, think about that. It's a big number. Of course, the opportunities. The thing is that you sell it at a low price. You have an opportunity to export it back and sell it at a high price. That's what creates this illegal situation there. But anyway, so there you have the possibility there to actually scan when you receive the medicine, and if you have the right information at that point, you can actually do the counterfeit check and make sure that that people do not end up with something that can be harmful.
Yes, definitely. I think this combination of the technology with human power, definitely, it's key. Also in our model, we have you call them field agents. We call them partnership managers who are on the ground visiting the medical facilities, making sure that the equipment is in place and it's used. And I think that's a very, very important part of the whole thing, to combine the technology with the human interaction to deliver traceability and transparency, and really the use case for the people who are involved there.
Alex?
I think on that note, we're actually exactly on time now. Perfect. Thank you so much. It was just
Thank you.
Now, as you see, the people that we've had the absolute privilege of hosting today are solving real problems, and they're using blockchain technology and MPC technology to do so, which really illustrates the potential here, right? Not just in business cases, but also in creating impact, working in charitable ways, in ways to support people in need. And one example of that, for example, is the first project that Vorne AI is supporting, which is called Project Rescue, right? Which is helping HIV/AIDS affected communities in 3 countries. Correct me if I'm wrong, in Ukraine, in Ghana, and in Egypt, correct? So through the platform, through Vorne AI, you can donate directly to Project Rescue's projects, to the affected communities directly, and see where your donation is going, and also through that donate much more efficiently and instantly. And transparently, yes, of course. Thank you very much. Thank you again. Thank you. And now we go to lunch. We have a half an hour break, and we'll see you all again at 1 o'clock. Thank you very much.